Yeah. Yep.
All right, if you guys do have a question, since there's so many people, try and raise your hand, and I'll just call on you so we can keep some semblance of order. We'll start over here. Bill?
With the Texas game being early in the Big Ten schedule, being what it is, the 18 teams, probably going to be tough every week. Exactly, coaches make programs changing the way they schedule.
I mean, I don't know. I think you want to have the competitive nature, and regardless of what you do, and a lot of these schedules are scheduled out a while from now. So, for us, we're just going to play whoever we have to play. You know, we're excited about every opportunity we get, and we're excited for every game we get to play.
Dennis?
So what was your version of climbing up in a tree to get a recruit, taking your shirt off, getting in that photograph with guys? What version of that, Jim, did you?
Really, my version of that is getting to know these kids inside and out, everything about them, about who they are, how they tick, who's going to help them make these decisions, and continually to show them, who I am as a person, and let them to get to know our program, get to know us, and get to know me. And that's what I'm going to do. Coach was his own man, and I'm my own man, so we'll do it that way.
On the right there?
When you were recruiting Donovan Edwards, what kind of kid was he then, and what has he turned into today?
I mean, he's the same energetic person he's been since I saw him in high school, walking the hallways, dapping everybody up, smiling, laughing, on the field making the plays. He's just become more mature, really grown in his spirituality and his faith. And that's probably the biggest thing. And then as a leader, he's always been a leader, but now he's a leader of men in college and really done a good job of that. So he hasn't changed from the personality he is, but just matured a little bit.
Heather?
Coach, you mentioned on the big stage leaning into your mentors, and I was wondering how often you do talk to Coach Harbaugh, and what's the best advice that he's given you?
Yeah, I just talked to him about 2 days ago, and just continue to say "do you," because it was working, and it continues to work. So for me, he's always himself. He's always just going to tell me the truth, and I'll talk to him as often as possible. And he told me, his phone's there, and he's just waiting to be counted on. So I'm excited to call him again soon.
Over here? James?
With all the continuity that you guys have maintained and the culture you're trying to keep intact, do you feel like the spirit of Jim Harbaugh is still alive at Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I think the spirit of Bo, Jim, all the great players before us, those spirits are together. And really, as he'll tell you, as he always did, it's about the players. And really, the players are maintaining the culture and the brotherhood that we have. So to watch them every single day is really what's kept us where we are today.
Isaiah?
The quarterback battle, you've got a lot of options there. How do you, when it comes to making a decision, how do you balance playmaking ability versus just consistency, accuracy? Like, how do you balance all the different traits that they might present?
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I think the number one thing is who's going to take care of the football. Who's going to be the guy to take care of the football? Our defense is going to provide them a bunch of different looks. They're going to have Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant running at them, and Josiah Stewart and Jay Sean Barham and Will off the edge and McCarry and all these guys and the different looks. So who's going to take care of the football? Who's going to make a play? And then the next thing, who's going to really lean on the team win and team first mentality? And for us, we'll get a good feel as we go through training camp. Don't know what the day is, don't know when it'll be, but you guys will know as soon as we do.
All the way in the back?
Maybe. It was awesome. I learned so much of what to do, what it should look like, what I wanted it to look like, what I didn't want it to look like. My first year coaching, I think we were 4-8 when I was a GA. My first year, I was coming from Oklahoma, and then joined the staff there, and the head coach got let go, and then Charlie Strong comes in, revamps the whole thing, and we ended up my last 2 years being a full-time coach there. We lost like 3 games total. Teddy Bridgewater was drafted in the first round. Devontae Parker was drafted in the first round, and I saw what it took to flip a program on its head, and then getting the opportunity to see that and enjoy that and be a part of it really has molded my career and what I've done now. And then obviously the opportunity to go to Central Michigan, the same thing, and then the opportunity with Coach Harbaugh the last 6 years really helped me and build a vision of what we're going to look like now.
Hey, Coach, when you finished your
speech on the big stage earlier, Donovan was actually sitting in the crowd clapping. He said, "What? No." Looked at all of us and said, "What? No applause." What does that mean to have that kind of support from him as you step into this new role?
Yeah, I mean, the players are all the support we need. I want to support them in every way possible. So for me, it means everything. It means everything. I got their back, and they got my back, and that's all that matters.
On the left.
Sherrone, you guys played max games last year, 15 playoffs expanding. You're looking at a potential for 2 more games, potential 17-game season. Late in the year, any adjustments you have to make, maybe keep you guys fresh, ready for the playoff expanding?
I mean, the number one thing is you got to win. So you can't focus on trying to keep people fresh. If you don't win, you're not playing. So for us, we're going to do everything we can to win. In the preparation, however we got to do it, we're going to do it. And we made great adjustments last year, and we'll continue to do that as we go through.
Chris.
Yeah, him and Raheem Anderson have a great battle going on right now. Super excited to see who wins it. Both those guys have been waiting in the wings. They've been around really good players. Andrew Vistardis to start off when they were both freshmen. Oluwatimi, who won the Remington and Outland, and then Drake Nugent, who was an All-American. So it's not like they've been around players that haven't been pretty good. So those guys have really sat back in the shadows, and with the world of the transfer portal and the era, for them not to leave tells you the dedication and love they have for Michigan. So they both deserve the right to go get this job, and they've been awesome. So excited to see what happens. And then the right tackle, we got Jeff Percy, we got Andrew Gentry, both guys who've played a lot of football. Jeff Percy started a game for us 2 years ago. Andrew's played a lot of football, so excited to see what happens.
Aaron.
Given all the change internally and externally in college football, in your mind, what's a successful first season for you to play?
Yeah, I mean, just for us to get better every single day. We're going to strive to be better than we were yesterday and then be better tomorrow. So for us, that's all we're going to try to do, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Tony.
The secondary, obviously, you guys brought a ton of depth in there, but specifically nickel. Who do you like maybe to replace Mike Samuelstone? I guess, how do you feel about just the depth and
Yeah.
how you revamp that?
Feel great about the depth. Obviously, in the secondary, you got Will Johnson, who's the best corner in college football, and then opposite of him could be a number of guys. The guy right now looks like Jair Hill, but Amir Hall obviously came in. Ricky Johnson has come in. Miles Powers is making a push to get better, so we're excited about all those corners. We got a lot of depth there, and then got safety. You got Makari Page, obviously. Unfortunately with Rod, the injury there, but feel like we got some guys that come in and really help. And having Quentin Johnson back's been huge. Zeke Berry, he's really taken the steps necessary. Had a great spring, and excited to see him. But we got 2 transfers in the secondary with the safeties with Jaden and Wes Walker. So we got a lot of competition, and as we say, the depth chart is ever flowing. It never stops. So we'll continue to see who wins the job.
Yeah, Coach, just 2 quickies. Number one, when do you expect a final ruling maybe from the NCAA about the investigation? Tony Patini said it was still in their hands, etc. And then number 2, specifically, does Tony offer to bring the program? And you had to know that would send a few ripples through the game rivalry too, I would think. But what do you like most about him?
Yeah, as far as the NCAA deal, I'm not at liberty to comment about that. Not worried about that. We're just really worried about what we have going on with our team and our football program, and we'll go from there. But with Tony, man, just an unbelievable human being, person I've known for a very long time, respected for a long time, and respected throughout the business for what he's done in the recruiting department, how he's coached, where he's coached, and who he is. So for us, it was just a great fit of a great person first, and then a great coach and teacher second.
All the way in the back.
When you were up on the big stage, you said you were going to attack this year. Enthusiasm.
Contagious enthusiasm. Yeah, besides smashed, I guess that's the Sherroneism everybody knows. But no, I mean, it'll come out day by day and see what happens. I don't try to quote coach every second. That's really a Jack Harbaugh'ism, something that's really sustained through the program for a long time. And we're always going to be about the team, and that's something that goes back to both. So for us, that's what we're gonna live and die on. And other than that, we'll see what comes out at different moments.
Charlie.
When you talk about the run game, obviously
Yeah, the guy that's not talked about enough is Kalel Mullings. He's going to be a force. He's unbelievable. He looks as good as he's ever has. He's geared to have a great year. I mean, you watch him last year. Every time he came in, he has an explosive play, a big play. He runs over somebody, makes somebody miss. But it's hard to take the ball out of Blake Corum's hands, you know. So for us, we've got a stable of guys. We've got him. We got Ben Hall. We got Cole Cabana. We got this freshman Jordan Marshall. I mean, we got Micah Capana. We got guys left and right. So we're really excited about that group and continue to go day by day.
Tom?
Yeah, Sherrone, I know camp hasn't even opened, regular season hadn't opened, but of this head coaching role you're in, I know you had a lot of taste from last year. What's the thing that's really kind of surprised you about that role? Whether it's alumni, donors, whatever, it's like, wow, I didn't know what I signed up for. Is there anything?
Yeah, a lot more pictures you got to take. That's probably the biggest thing. Like, I didn't realize it was this many for me, but the all the other things that come with it, I figured they would. You know, the donor events, the alumni, the meetings, the head coaching meetings with the other head coaches. You know, there's a lot more of those than I thought. Just talking about issues that we have to deal with as coaches and making the best decision for our student athletes. So probably those are the biggest things. But really, the coolest thing is that I get to be around every player on the team and hang around all the players. You know, from the kickers to the walk-ons to the starting quarterback, whoever that may be, and to the linemen to the receivers. So, like, for me, I get a chance to hang around all the players. That's pretty awesome.
Austin?
Sherrone, do you think it's harder to create that hunger in a team after you've won a national championship, and how do you go about doing that?
No, I don't think it is. I think when you're at Michigan, you're always hungry to win. And the tradition, the passion that we have at Michigan, we're always hunting to be great. We're always hunting to win. So for us, there's no complacency of what we want to do and who we want to be every single day.
Over here, James?
Sherrone, you mentioned on the podium that the blueprint's in place. You don't want to mess with it too much, but you want to put your own flavor on it. What is the Sherrone Moore flavor?
I mean, we'll figure that out as we go through camp. You know, the different things, the processes in which we attack it, we're just going to keep doing it. And the hard work, the toughness, the mentality that we attack everything offense, defense, special teams with, we're going to do. You know, more music at practice. Coach didn't play music at practice, and I'm guessing the Chargers are finding that out now. But everything else, yeah, you know, there'll be things here and there that are different, but most of that stuff's going to stay the same.
Dennis?
Sherrone, can you imagine taking over this program like 7 years invested without coaching 3 or 4 games last year, without being a coordinator, having that safety design? And kind of following up on Leslie's questions, if anybody deserves a people here, it's you. Do you see it that way?
First of all, on the first question, I think that, you know, all those experiences have shaped and helped me to right now, to allow me the chance to get this opportunity with this great staff that I have and great players to lead this program. And no, there's no honeymoon year. We're just ready to attack. All my life I've been a competitor. I've wanted to win, and I've tried to win everywhere where I've been. And, like, there's no time off. There's no, let's take a step back. Like, that's not our goal. Like, we know what we want to do. We know how we want to attack it. I'm hungrier than ever.
Next one is Isaiah.
Obviously, you've had some of the freshmen on campus as early enrollees. You've got the rest in, but they haven't been through camp. But who's impressed you, whether they're the guys who've been around or even some of them who are newer?
Yeah, I think to watch these freshmen, man, talk about a mature group. I'll start with the quarterback, Jaden Davis. Dude just makes plays every time he was in the game. You know, in the spring, and he did a really good job of handling things, still learning the playbook, still learning the game, adjusting. But phenomenal job. 2 guys that excited to watch. Both receivers, Amarion Stewart, Channing Goodwin. Those guys are really electric. Have some ability. Whether they play early or not, we'll see. But excited about them. All the linemen, we had 5 of them enroll, and super stoked about them. But Jordan Marshall has a little bit of Blake Corum mentality in him and skill set, so super excited about him. On the defense side of the ball, the guy probably most excited about as a true freshman is Dom Nichols. Big, long athlete, goofy as can be, funny as can be, but dude can play, and super excited to see what he does this year.
What are your expectations for the Washington game? Obviously, it's not going to be the same as the national championship. Is it any different being a Big Ten matchup, and what are your expectations for the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously it's different because it's a regular season game, and you know you got another game after that, and all those things. And the national championship's different than any other game, so a little bit different. But as far as when you get into the game, it's going to be a competitive game. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be well coached, so we got to prepare like any other game.
How much do you know about Jed Fish coming into his tenure in Washington?
I know a little bit about Jed. I know he was at Michigan, and I've had some conversation with him, and know he's a good coach. So excited for our competition with them, and excited to go out to Washington.
Angelique.
So we didn't see Jack Tuttle in the spring, but what did you see from him last season and even in the summer?
Yeah, he's been great, man. He's been accurate. He's been throwing it hard, throwing physical, fast, and he looks good. Jack's had the unfortunate favor to be behind Michael Penix Jr. and J.J. McCarthy, so he's excited, to say the least. So watch him compete. We're ready to see what happens.
Could you see doing something like 2021 where you had Cade and then brought JJ in as packages, whatever?
Yeah, we're just going to play the best 11. We'll see.
Reiner.
Sherrone, how much do you get the sense that people do think from the outside that there will be some kind of drop off?
I mean, I think there's always everybody's speculations and opinions, and it's not our job to really care about what everybody else thinks. So for us, it's whatever, we know who we're going to be, and that's all we're going to do.
And to follow up, I mean, at Wayne State, you kind of told some campers, like, one of the messages is, make them hold their breath so that they suffocate. I mean, do you apply that to the team and kind of the mentality that you coach with, and we can kind of messaging to
Yeah, I mean, for me, for the team, they just see my interactions with them every day. They know how much I love them, how much I care about them, and how much I believe in them. So that's all they really need, and they got enough motivation being at Michigan.
Next one is Chris.
Coach, Chicken Game's been huge for you guys the last several years. Is Dominic here now, and have you seen anything from him yet?
Yeah, Dominic's here. He's been awesome. Dude's got a leg. He can boot it. Been super accurate. So super excited about him.
And then, can you make it win Big Ten this year, and why?
Yeah, I think, every year that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to compete to win the Big Ten, and if we do, it's because we took care of the football, we played great defense, and we played as hard as we could every game.
Seth.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about on the big stage about kind of delegating responsibilities and something that you need to get better at. I was just wondering how that's going with Kirk Campbell and how much maybe you want to, as a former offensive coordinator, maybe have a hand in the offense, but then at the same time give it to him as something for him to work with. How that dynamic's going to go.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, Kurt, I trust in and out. I mean, he's done such an unbelievable job, and I told a story about we won the national title, and we go back to the office, and Kurt's in there yelling at the screen because somebody's route depth wasn't right. I'm like, dude, go home. We just won the Natty, bro. Like, go. But that's the type of guy he is. So for me, it's less and less difficult to delegate things when you have people like that around you. Having him and having Wink and having J.B. Brown, those guys are unbelievable, tough, hard workers, and their number one goal is the team, which makes it most important for me.
Adam.
Sure, coaches always say you have to find your voice and be yourself. I was wondering what that process is like after following a guy with obviously a lot of success, a big personality, someone that you're very, very close with. What's that like as a young first-time coach?
Yeah, it's being me. I can't be coach. I can't be Jim Harbaugh, and I never will be. So for me, I go as I go. I'm not going to change how I am. When I get excited, I'm going to get excited. When I want to yell smash, I'm going to yell smash. When I want us to play violent, I'm going to let our players know. And that's what I'm going to do. But when I love them, I love them. And when I feel like they need a hug, I'm going to give them a hug. Like that, I'm just going to be me. And I can't change that, and I'm not going to change that.
On the left here, Steve.
Sherrone, what does a national championship do for in terms of where you can go into in terms of recruiting and the areas you can go into, and have you seen that?
I mean, I don't think necessarily the national championship changed our recruiting philosophy. I think it was more of, we're at Michigan. We should be able to recruit the best of the best. And that's going to be my attitude as long as I'm the head coach here.
Does adding West Coast teams to the Big Ten maybe change the formula, like how much time you want to spend in certain places? There's maybe an extra place you can go.
No, the biggest thing for us, I mean, we're a big fit-based organization, so they got to be a fit. Obviously have to have great grades and got to be a fit for us. So wherever we go, regardless if we're in Washington, California, Oregon, Idaho, or we're in New York or Maryland or Florida, like they have to be a fit for us.
Tim.
Coach, if you could take one quality from J.J. McCarthy and put it in your quarterbacks now, being around him like you were, what would it be?
the ability to be so cerebral in the most pressure moments. Just he was just calm. He was vintage. He was himself, but he was always ready to attack. And you can always count on him when the big plays were there, and you needed somebody to make a big play. He'd make it, or he'd let whoever was supposed to make it, and wouldn't go out of the way to do something crazy. So I think he grew to that, and excited to watch our quarterbacks do the same.
What's the secret of finding that in you guys?
Yeah, I don't think there's a secret. I think it's the work. I think it's the work that we have to do throughout training camp to find that.
Middle.
Coach, players that ended up on Pittsburgh radars last season with so much work. Talk about his development and also how his intensity is in keeping him up the field.
Yeah, Samaj is probably one of the best practice players on the team. I mean, he practices so hard. He probably loses about 5 to 6 pounds every practice, and he's got to gain it back. But the guy runs hard, runs physical, and for being a guy that's so little in stature, he plays like he's 200 pounds, and he'll tell you that too. So, but he's done an outstanding job of changing his body in a good way, of continuing the speed. Got a 4.0 this semester, so that was a big change to allow him to get the number 0, which he wouldn't stop bugging me about. But he's done an outstanding job, and excited for what he's going to do this year.
Pete.
Coach Harbaugh, Jim was just such a big advocate about revenue sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're spending your whole summer, I'm sure, trying to wrap your head around it. What's that been like, and how is Michigan kind of echoing what Jim was all about, going to be all about revenue sharing?
Yeah, we're all about it. We're all about supporting our players in every single way. Our administration is aligned and ready to do that and figure out the best way to allocate all those funds to our student athletes. So we're all in for it, and we knew Coach wanted it, and we're definitely hands with doing that.
How has your NIL collective evolved, do you think, in the last 6 months?
It's been huge. They've done an outstanding job. They just realized what we have to do and how we have to compete. It's part of the game. It's part of it. You got to have a plan. And we continue to be aligned as an administration and collective to get there.
Anthony.
Sherrone, Ben Herbert started but not so soon with getting past physical ready the last year. So what do you make of the job that Justin Trust has done for the last 6 months or so?
Yeah, so Coach Herb actually came to a practice or a walk-through-ish thing that we can have, per NCAA rules. We can do stuff without, going against the defense, all that. And Herb said, nothing's changed. So for him to say that and to watch the guys work out, I think that speaks volumes to what Jay Tress and what that crew's done. They've done an outstanding job, along with Abigail O'Connor and their staff, of keeping the intensity, the attention to detail where it needs to be for us to do what we need to do.
Alejandro.
Sherrone, what made CJ and Amorian the guys you wanted to target at receiver in the transfer portal, and what do you expect from them this year?
Yeah, CJ Charleston, man, he's a quick little cat. He's going to be great, but he's just a great fit for who we are, what we're going to do. And then Amarion, there's a lot of familiarity with him. We know a guy a guy that wanted to come back, and I guess talked to a lot of our players, and he just constantly wanted to come back. And when the opportunity presented himself, said, hey, let's bring you back home. So that's what happened.
Bill.
I feel like I have a little too many questions about the defense, maybe because so many guys are coming back. You guys in practice, but what is Lincoln added?
Well, I think you'll find out game 1 what he's tweaked and added, and as we go out there this season, we'll tell a story of what we tweaked or added. But the defense will be fun to watch, and we'll put our players in a position to be successful.
On the right, Michael.
Sherrone, what are some of the things that you noticed about Kirk when he called plays during the spring that were kind of maybe his unique traits or his fingerprints that he could put on things as a play caller?
Yeah, I mean, during the spring, you saw a little bit of what we did, or a good bit of what we did, but you can see his flavor on it. And I think he's going to do an unbelievable job. He's creative, he's smart, he's detailed, and he's going to find every way to attack defenses, and even more ways than I did. So I'm excited to watch the offense develop.
Are there any differences between you as an offensive line guy and as a quarterbacks guy in terms of just how play calls come together, or what you would favor versus you?
No, I think more so it's going to be different because it's going to be different players. So you're going to get the ball in the playmakers' hands, and whoever those people are, we're going to make sure they get the football. So we both want to win, so we're going to get the guys in the ball in their hands that they're going to help us win.
Bill.
We think about them 24/7, 365. So that's what we're going to continue to do. That's how we're going to continue to attack it. And we're just going to attack our process. We really can't be worried about what happened in the past and what the future holds. We just got to worry about today, and that'll dedicate and predict what we do in these future games.
Right here.
Sherrone, it seemed like, especially through the last 3 years, winning the Big Ten, making the playoff, that roster continuity was maybe a bit of a superpower for you guys, for lack of a better term, keeping guys from leaving in the portal, the one more year fund. How valuable is that to not be trying to fit in new pieces all across the place and just running it back with the same guys who know each other, who understand what's expected of them, versus trying to kind of retrofit a team every year?
Yeah, I think you have to have that to be able to compete. You got to have the same or similar guys in your locker room, and then develop the culture, have it sustained, and continue to roll it over to the next people that join your team. So for us, it's been invaluable to have those guys to come back every year.
And how much does NIL play a role in that? Obviously, the one more year fund was big, but it seems like that could be a very targeted practice for you guys going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of it is part of it, but the number one thing is they want to go to Michigan. They want to be a part of that brotherhood, that camaraderie, and they want to do what they came to do in the first place, which is continue to win championships. Yeah, I mean, we figured that would come in. We got a plan, so guys that can coach, and we've distributed it out as we've gone through, and I guess everybody will start to see it.
Does that take some of the load off the primary coaches?
I mean, I think it just gives them assistance and allows people to get detailed in other areas and let other people to help them, because nobody knows everything. So you need the assistance and help, and then it just allows more coaches to coach on the field, which is necessary. We got so many players on the field, so everybody needs coaching, everybody needs direction, so now you have more eyes on those young student athletes.
Tony?
Yeah, just wondering if you could speak to Mason and KG specifically for a minute. I mean, back to the player retention. I know, keeping them here was obviously critical.
Mm-hmm.
What you wanted to do. They told me the other day that they were kind of after the initial coaching change, it was sort of like what's going on moment, right? Just what your message was to keeping them, and then just you could speak to what they do and how much they unlock this team.
Yeah, I think when you have any change, there's always some kind of indecision, some kind of thought process. So there was that. They're young, they're kids, and for us, the message was just like, look, man, you know what you came here to do. You know what this place is about. You know how I'm going to coach you. You know how we're going to take care of you. The decision's on you. And it wasn't very hard for them to do that, to stay at Michigan, a place they've dedicated, that they trust, that they understand that's going to take care of them and set them up for life. So that was that. But those guys have been working their tails off. They are not satisfied with anything. They're very hungry. So super excited for training camp for them.
Tom?
Colson level seems like an unlimited ceiling for him. How many different ways can you weaponize a player like that? When he catches the ball, he seems to just ignite downfield.
Yeah, I mean, you ever heard of Travis Kelce? I mean, that's what you're looking at. That dude's an animal. He's an absolute animal, and the guy just works. He works, and you got Colson. He reminds me of Blake when he like we had to stop Blake from doing extra. Like Colson, you can't do that much. You got to stop. You got to hold out. So this guy's the limit for him.
Has he improved in certain areas that make him?
Yeah, everything. Run game. He looks like a receiver when he's running routes. So it's going to be awesome to watch him.
Charlie?
Is that something that you maintain with a new defensive coordinator? If not, was there any new mantras you added?
Yeah, the players were super adamant about keeping that, and Wink was way on board with it. So they've definitely kept those pillars, and they're excited for the defense. They're excited for what's going to happen and all the tweaks and all the things that they're doing, but making sure that they're all in a great position, which he's done a really good job of doing.
All the way in the back?
Talking to the players, they say the preparation and attention to detail has almost risen since last season, knowing they're defending a national championship. Have you noticed that in your team as well?
Yeah, I have. I think when you have guys that haven't played as much, with as much game experience, but you have enough of them, they know they've got to take it up a notch, and they're not satisfied. They're very hungry to be successful. So I've seen that. I've seen the times of there's just guys in the building and they won't leave, and you want that. That's what you need. So when you have that, you got a great culture and great program set up.
Chris?
Talk about Rayshon, but
Yeah, he's been great, man. It was great to see him. I watched him just do some drills the other day. He looks good, and I think he'll work out the kinks in the first week of training camp, and he'll be ready to go.
You talk about some of the young offensive linemen that are waiting to return that you have your eye on.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll just start with the O-line. Guys like Miles Hinton and Josh Preby have done an outstanding job. I think they're going to be superstars. I said it last year. Miles Hinton could be the best one of them all, and that includes the guys that were there. So he's done an outstanding job. Andrew Gentry, really excited about what he's going to do this year. Super excited about him. Gio El-Hadi is a guy who's been waiting, who's been behind two an All-American, All-Conference guards, and he's played in games, he's started in games, and been a stalwart for us. So super excited about him. And a guy that nobody really talks about is Dominique Cadiz, who moves from D-line to O-line. He's really taken a step in the right direction. So excited to see where he does.
Angelique?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it went well. It was funny because like you turn on the radio frequency and like you can just yell at the guy and say different things. So I would just be messing with people. Like I grabbed one on the defense side and yelled at Ernest one time and yelled at somebody else. And so it's gone well. The players really like it, and it's just going to take some more getting used to as we get through training camp. Yeah, we'll see. I think he's on progress, maybe slightly ahead. So we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, back in November, there were kind of two competing ideas that were presented. Like, which was like you did, but the idea that Michigan's going to be how's that informed your approach coming into this season? Kind of when you are doing some of the other stuff about like what can and can't do about it.
Yeah, I mean, just for us, and since I've been there, it's like people are going to predict what they're going to predict. They're going to say what they're going to say, and our job is not to prove anybody right, to prove ourselves right. So we're just going to go day by day and try to get better, not worry about anything else.
Isaiah?
You touched on some of those transfer guys in the secondary. A lot of them had a lot of experience with a lot of takeaways. What have you kind of seen from them since they arrived, and particularly on Amir Hall? What does he bring?
Yeah, I mean, obviously experience and guys that, Amir was an All-American at the FCS level, and, guys that really have just submerged in the culture. And I think our coaches have done a really good job. And, I was obviously a part of bringing in transfers in, but, like, bringing in guys that fit, no egos, that are all about the team, that want to see the team success. And that's what we have. All those guys have been great. And you find out more about them when you get the pads on and it gets a little adversity and you get beat once. Like, you need that to see how they're going to react, because in a game that's going to happen, what's the next play going to look like? And then you want to see them hit. Are they going to be physical? Are they going to tackle? I think they are, but we got training camp, so that's what we're going to find out.
Max Bredesen earlier today was talking a little bit about.
Gosh, isn't he awesome? He's the best, isn't he?
He's a good guy. I didn't even tell you what he said yet.
Oh yeah.
He was talking about the third stringers, or maybe last year, the depth guys
Yep.
who are now expected and stepping in just how certain he is that they're all gonna do well. And just I wonder that confidence it gives you. Just maybe they're unknown to us, but how known they are to you. It's not often a national champion can maybe fly under the radar. But
I love
so
it.
many, how do you speak to that?
Yeah, I mean, for us, you like staying there. You just like staying in that little perch and getting ready. And then when it's time, game day on August 31st, getting ready to strike. So for us, we're just ready to work. And it's awesome to hear that from him, one of our leaders, who they're in the thick of it with our players every single day. They see it, they understand it, they get it, they see what it looks like. So he knows, and they all know what it's supposed to look like, and we're excited.
Aaron?
Greg Crippen's the guy who's had to kind of sit and watch as you guys have brought in transfers the last couple of years. Can you speak to him, waiting it out again?
Yeah, I think it's been awesome. Like I said, this era of transfer portal, so many guys just leave and go, and I want it now. And he's just gone through the process and attacked it. So it's been cool to watch Greg go through this thing and guide him and shape him and mold him, and he's ready. He's ready to go.
Austin, it's the first time Michigan's had a general manager, I believe.
Mhm.
What has Sean brought to that position? His time in the NFL, how did that maybe help him in that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with all the things going on in NIL and revenue sharing, you have to have a plan, and part of that plan was bringing him in to manage a lot of that. So, part of my delegating was, making sure I had somebody that can handle a lot of that stuff. So he's been outstanding. He's been an outstanding addition to the program. He's so smart. He's so creative in his thoughts, and I lean on him for a lot of that stuff.
You guys got anything else for him?
Nice.
Clayton?
You better.
Josiah, Derek, and then kind of move behind them.
Yeah, those guys are. I mean, it's like the pocket just shrinks so fast with those two guys. And great example is the Rose Bowl, the last play. People talk about the blitz off the edge, but it's Josiah Stewart on the backside that just takes the tackle and puts him on the ground, and he really stops the play. The dude is as strong as an ox, man. And Derek Moore is as elite can be. Doesn't say a word, just keeps attacking. Really excited for TJ Guy. He's a guy that's been waiting in the wings, and he's watched the Aidens. He watched the Ajabos. He watched Mike Moe. He watched all those guys, and he's ready. He's ready to go attack this year.
Did it surprise you at all how strong Josiah is as a
I mean, I've seen it before, man. I've seen, it was Josh Uche all over again. We had Uche a couple years back who was like a snake, just venom, ready to go on third down, and you saw that back foot just revving up, going, and that's what Josiah is. And he's got some elite twitch, elite quickness, but elite strength too for his size.
Reiner?
Yeah, I know that you saw the Ohio State safety said that their NIL is like around $20 million in budget. Is Michigan close to that? And how much have you guys made strides, towards, expanding that budget?
Yeah, we're in a good place, and we're going to continue to build to make sure we're competitive. So we got a great plan, and we're going to continue to build. Yeah, I don't got the number on me, so I'm not worried about that number right now.
Charlie?
Sherrone, you talked about Samaj. Can you talk about the rest of the depth of the wide receiver room and who you've liked so far this spring?
Yeah, Tyler Morris has been awesome. He's really taken on a leadership role. Obviously had the big play in the Rose Bowl, surprised people. Really didn't surprise us, but a guy that's, timed a 4.4 in high school. People forgave he was a highly recruited kid, but towards the ACL in high school and then had been recovering and really ready to take the reins. He's done an outstanding job. Fred Moore is another guy, had a great spring. Kendrick Bell, younger brother of Ronnie Bell, has the ability to be great, really great. So excited for him. And then Amarion, Walker, and then we talked about Samaj. So those are probably the top guys. Peyton O'Leary's a guy we're ready to see break out. Has had some good springs and really want to see what he does here in the fall camp. And then our young guys, see what they do.
Chris?
Yeah, he's been awesome. He looks like the Jimmy Roller that we thought we would get before he started to get the injuries and the dinks. So he looks good. He's in a good place physically and a good place mentally. Yeah, I think Jaden Hood's done a really good job. He's really stepped up. He's really changed his body and done some really good things. The guy that I'm excited to see is Micah Pollard. He's up to about 235 pounds, 240 pounds. He's played at like 205-ish, so he's been really good. Young guy, Cole Sullivan, man, he's ready to break out at some point. He's a true freshman, but he's a guy that I feel will play this year, whether it be special teams or a little bit on defense, but he looks like he's a defensive end, but he runs like a linebacker, so excited to watch him.
All the way in the back?
Love it. Yes. Let's do it.
Aaron?
Aside from Rod, any other volunteers you guys are out?
No, that's it. Everybody's in good shape and ready to go.
Anything else?
As now, or I'm out.
Technically 2 more minutes, yes, Angela. It better not be a 2-minute question.
Could be. How was it? No, I mean, I think, in life there's things that go on and you can't predict them, but you just put them in God's hands and try to figure out the best way to solve the problems and the things that go on. And I feel like we got better. I feel like we got some really good additions to our staff and really good people. Super excited for we call him Sweet Lou, Lou Esposito, who's I looked at the defense side yesterday. All our defensive coaches have been coordinators, and it provides us with an avenue and outlet to have different voices and different views of different things that have seen all types of offenses. Coach Brian Jean-Marie has been in the SEC. He's dealt with the fastest offense in college football every single day at Tennessee, right? And Lou been in the MAC, at Memphis, dealt with spread offense, dealt with power offenses, and then Lamar, all types of offenses down in the South. So for us, it's been really cool. And then obviously Wink dealing with pro style and fast tempo and all types of things. So we got a lot of smart defensive minds in there that can handle a lot of different issues that people are trying to present to us. Not as much as I want to. Definitely want to keep more in touch with him, and we'll do that for sure exactly before camp.
Last question over on the right.
Can you talk about the tight end room and who's emerging behind Colston?
Yeah, Colston is obviously an absolute beast. Max Bredesen is an absolute beast. The guy that will jump on the scene will be Marlon Klein. He is probably the freakiest athlete of all of them. So he's outstanding. The next guy that I'd say is really emerging is Deacon Tonelli, a redshirt freshman that has all the skill set and size. He walks in here, he looks like a guy who's probably a junior. So we'll see how he does in training camp, where he does. Zach Marshall's done a really good job. So that room is deep, and excited for him.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.